Alright, hello again. I'm back. Even though I said I would post something other than Doctor Who content, I have not gotten around to it at this point in time. Right, so, first episode of Series 15, The Robot Revolution. I really like this episode, first and foremost. I do have a couple? I have one pick. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with this one. But yeah, we'll start with my main thing that I really like. I really like the way this episode introduces Belinda. I think that she's really fun to watch already. And I think that this episode does a very good job of introducing her character and also making sure that she has a fun and interesting dynamic with the Doctor. I like that she's a bit older than our latest main companions, Ruby and Yasmin. I think that's good and interesting. I also like that she's a nurse, I know that's like a fun thing because the Doctor and the nurse, but yeah, I really like the fact that she's a nurse and that the way that kind of shapes her character. She's like very calm, even like in a ordinarily very stressful situation. She's very calm and she takes her time to help people when she can, even in this situation that she's found herself in. And I think that's nice. I like that part of her. I also think kind of concept of this episode was really fun and interesting. One of the things I really liked with this episode was the set design and the creature design. It's a really distinct and visually interesting vibe. I like the bright colours and all that, and also just the shapes of everything. It's very fun and kind of round, most of it, except for the big thing that Alan's sitting in. That one's really cool. I really like the design of Alan's prosthetic too. I think it's really cool. Other than that, yeah, I think the dialogue was really sharp. I think that Russell as a writer has a tendency to sometimes write jokes that just fall a little short for me, or have pieces of dialogue that are very awkward when they're not supposed to be. But this episode didn't really have any of that, so that's good. Mostly the thing that I really like about this episode is Belinda and how she's characterised, and I feel like the episode is very much driven by her, which is nice to see. I think I complained about it a lot in early episodes last series, that I really felt like Ruby didn't get anything to do, but Belinda here has lots of things to do, and she does lots of things of her own accord. She calls the robots and decides to sacrifice herself for these people. She gets a lot of good moments where she gets to show her character. This is honestly a top tier character introduction episode, honestly, in my opinion, at least on first watch. I feel like I had so much to say about this episode, but it ended up being quite short. I really want to talk a little bit about that scene at the end, though, because number one, I really like that Belinda is of an age where she will call the Doctor out for his bullshit. Can I say that on YouTube? Can I still say that on YouTube? I think I can. It doesn't matter anyways, I'm not monetized, so who cares? But yeah, I really like that she calls him out on his behaviour, and that she can, she's old enough to see through his charm in ways that, younger companions don't. Or, companions that are a little bit crushing on him, I feel like she's very set on this one thing. She's gonna go home. She isn't going to fall for the Doctor trying to lure her into travelling with him because he's lonely, like he always does. And she's just gonna be like, I'm gonna go home and then we're done, right? You're gonna get me home right away. None of this long way around bullshit. I'm going home and I'm gonna work my shift on Monday because I like my job, right? I like that. And then the second part is obviously the whole bouncing off thing. I think that's a good concept, but I'm really very afraid, after having actually seen the trailer for the season, I'm really very afraid that this is going to turn into end of the world thing again. I am getting a little bit tired of those kinds of arcs, and I really wish that we would have like a no stakes season, or like just like a lower stakes season. Like maybe it doesn't have to be the end of the world every time. Please. Right, yeah. I was gonna bring up my nitpick. We'll do that after. But like, I really just want a season where we don't have to save the entire universe, you know? It's been a while since we've had something like that. I think it hasn't been since like World Enough and Time, the Doctor Falls, that we have had like a finale that wasn't about the world ending, you know? I just think that would be nice, and just like have it about protecting this one place and not like the entire universe, you know? The next thing is the one thing that I felt was really unnecessary in the episode is when the Doctor first explains the whole ninth word thing to Belinda when they're in front of the robots, and that they can't hear every ninth word, which I thought was really clever at first, but then it's edited together after he says it, even though throughout the entire talk, the entire speech, he's been emphasizing every ninth word. So it's not really necessary to play it back. It's just kind of just like repeating yourself. And I don't like it. I feel like that's kind of treating your audience as if they're stupid. And I really wish that they didn't do that. But that's like the only thing that I have like that about the episode itself that isn't just like, you know, predictions for future things in the series. When it comes to predictions, I do have some about like Belinda and why she's special. I don't want her to be special. Personally, I really don't want her to be special. I just want her to be ordinary. I don't think we need special companions. I think that companions are more interesting when they're just, you know, people that you find on the street randomly. But I really hope that that isn't it. Which is why I also hope that the Mandy Flynn thing isn't going to be anything about having met someone who looks like Belinda twice. I just don't think it's necessary to do anything about that. Like, let's just have her be a distant relative, and that is it. You know, we could have just not explained it at all, like Doctor Who does sometimes, you know? But yeah, those are my thoughts for now. I'll probably remember something later that I forgot to add in, but hopefully I'll get this episode out tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be more on time for next episode. I'm planning to watch the episodes when they come out and then record on Sundays, and then I'll have it out by Monday, hopefully. But I'm not going to promise anything because, you know, I haven't exactly been very on time with these things. But yeah, I'm also hoping to eventually post other things that are not Doctor Who, as I've said probably for the last two videos. Yeah. But this time I'll probably actually go through it, but probably not before like June or something, because I have exams. But yeah, bye.